Yep, there we go. It's another episode of the Giants, guys. Thanks for tuning in. We, believe it or not, have a lot to talk about. So we're going to jot. Oh, look. I know everybody's pumped about what our New York Knicks are doing.
4 seed, baby. This is big.
It's not big. A basketball show.
I know it's a Giants show.
It is big.
But I mean, a New York team is in the playoffs. It's exciting.
Huge.
And it is exciting.
I'll pull for him.
Cheers.
You have to pull for him. I'm gonna actually start the show off by saying that 4 years ago today, we lost Chris Cornell, one of the best singers of all time.
Love that guy.
Lead singer of Soundgarden and Audio Slave. Can't believe it's been 4 years. We don't do music very often, but when Eddie Van Halen died, we did a whole show around Eddie Van Halen, and we named every segment after a Van Halen song. I'm not that prepared, but just to let people know, 4 years goes by fast. And right after that, if you remember Chester Bedingfield from Lincoln Park. Yeah, it was right after that. So, we're making it out of a pandemic, people. Let's talk Giants football. Let's have some fun, right?
Cheers.
All right, guys.
Cheers.
Bing. If you're tuning in late, again, it's another episode of the Giants, guys. We are. Cheers. I'm working with the Sam today. Thanks for hanging out at the bar with us. As I like to say, we are the podcast you love to hate. And these are my guys. Mikey Fresh. We got Mr. Glass Half Full, Spiro. And, of course, the mechanic. Jeff is in the room. Michael Stewart is off doing some family stuff today. So you're going to have to rumble and roll with us for today. Podcast, Chop It Up. It'll be up tomorrow. We're starting off with the big news, and I'm going to read off the show notes. No, you missed them. You missed them.
Wouldn't be a show without them.
And the arm thing, nope. I mean, you're in the right spot. All right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay, boys, let's talk about the running back room. It's getting a little bit, I wouldn't say congested, but it's definitely getting more and more, what would be the word? Full?
To capacity.
Yes, to capacity. So the conversation around Saquon Barkley for the last, let's say, 4 months has been that it's been speculation, of course, nothing, that he wouldn't be ready, that he would be ready for opening day. And then, we saw some videos of him training. I'm sure all three of you guys have seen him training with the weight vest on and doing a lot of stuff. No reason to think he wouldn't. Hypothetically, if you've ever had an ACL injury or an MCL or meniscus, anything, you know that it's tough to come back from, but these guys are NFL players with great trainers. So we all thought, right? We all shake our heads. We all thought it looked good, right? Prognosis looks good. He's going to make it back. Well, bang. Co-owner of the New York Giants, John Tisch, was talking to TMZ. He's a Hollywood guy. So he was talking to TMZ, and he kind of indicated, excuse me, that Saquon Barkley, who's recovering from ACL and MCL injury, that he might not be ready for week 1. Whoo! Gives me chills thinking about it. And you kind of went like this. Like Spiro, when I told Spiro, he was like, yeah, I'm not really worried about it. However, gentlemen, last week, the Giants brought in and Corey Clement, which you guys are familiar, won a Super Bowl with the Eagles and had a very nice run down the stretch for the Eagles. And then
Decent
today,
player.
What's that, Fresh?
Super Bowl hero.
Player.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'll never call an Eagle a hero, but yes, I got you.
Right?
And then today, the Giants pick up Raquel Armstead from the Jags. So is it coincidence, gentlemen, that we're adding on running backs at the same time as the co-owner saying that Barkley might not be ready? Jeff, what's your thought here? It seems to be there's a connection between signing running backs and this comment from Tisch about the fact that Saquon Barkley might not be ready for week 1.
Yeah, I don't believe in coincidences. So I think they're concerned about his week 1 availability. If he is suited up, he's not going to get a full workload. And they seem to be bringing in these backs that are really dynamic and can potentially contribute in other areas. And they went out and got Devontae Booker very early in free agency. So that was the first sign that there may be some concern with Saquon. Now you bring in Clement, Armstead, you drafted one. So, I mean, on their roster, on the Giants website, there's 8 running backs right now. Obviously, it's not going to stay that way, but I think they're going to look at who can contribute in other areas. But there's obviously concern. But Clement, I mean, the run he had with the Eagles, it just makes me sick to even talk about like a Super Bowl run with the Eagles. Like that still just doesn't feel right. But he was huge down the stretch for them, and in the Super Bowl, he was huge. He caught a touchdown pass in the Super Bowl, if I'm not mistaken. And he's
Why was he available?
What's that?
Why was he available?
Couldn't tell
He
you.
just ran his
I'm just
course.
asking.
I think running backs do that. It's rinse and repeat with a lot of
Some-
I'm
teams.
just asking. Yeah.
And you're never really going to know. It could have been one of those where they didn't want to pay him, so they thought they tried to squeeze him through waivers, and he didn't make it. That's happened before. If you remember,
They also
Giants,
don't know what they're doing. So
well, fresh. Let's not go that far. Remember, the Giants won a Super Bowl. Jake Ballard blew his knee out in the Super Bowl. They tried to squeeze him through waivers the year after the Super Bowl in 2011, and he got snapped up by, I think, the Patriots or somebody snapped him up. So NFL teams do try to sneak guys through, and sometimes it catches you, sometimes it doesn't.
New coaching staff too.
Go ahead. Well, Fresh, just riff a little bit here. I mean, I don't know how familiar you are with these guys, Raquel Armstead, Clement and Booker, but what's your thought? It's a pretty, as Jeff just alluded to, they're not big bruising backs. They're pretty dynamic, kind of a slashy type of, they're not every down back, but I'm sure that between those three, they can carry the load if Barkley's not ready. What's your thoughts?
yeah, I think that they're bringing in some bodies now to get through the training camp and preseason, because I wouldn't imagine that Barkley gets a ton of reps. They probably, even if he was completely healthy, like you would limit his snaps and reps. And they probably want guys that are similar in terms of being able to work out of the backfield a little bit, similar type backs, just for some continuity as the offense gets reps together with Jones and the new receivers. And also it is a position where you need bodies, especially when you're not going to give Barkley any touches until the season starts, really. So I don't see them carrying 5 running backs. I think based on percentages, unfortunately, someone probably goes down or gets a little banged up before the season and gets cut.
Spiro, let's do this in reverse order, Spiro. What's your thought, and do you have any knowledge of Raquel Armstead's game?
Yeah.
I know a little bit about him. I'd rather you walk me through it. I'm sure, like, I was a little surprised they went that route, okay? Because I thought if they were going to bring a guy in, it would be more of a bruiser kind of a back.
He is. He kind of yeah. So I watched him since Temple. And he could gain some tough yards. He's 220, 6 foot 220, and he's got some muscle on him, dude. If you watch him, he could get those tough yards. That's what I liked about him out of college. And it was interesting that the Jags kind of gave up on him pretty quickly over there. He flashed a couple times. He only had 1 year with them, so it kind of was weird that they let him go. I guess that new regime. They're not trying to. They're trying to go a different direction. But I like the Raquel signing. The way I look at it, these are camp bodies. First of all, if Corey Clement does what he's supposed to do, he's got that third RB position locked up. Booker's already, he's locked in too. So it's a kind of insurance for Corey Clement, because I think he's got the inside track to that third RB spot. And the guy that we drafted, he's a stash on a practice squad, like Jeff mentioned on Twitter today. I agree with that. So I think they're just lining up bodies because, first of all, Saquon's not playing the preseason. He's not going to play a snap. I'd be shocked if he did. So you need bodies for preseason. You're throwing out 4 or 5 guys there. So I think that's where you start. And best man wins. You try to stash Brightwell and go from there.
Another thing.
Is there a dramatic difference between these guys? I know what Booker is. If you look just pure stats, the guy is a great receiving back out of the backfield. That's where he's made his living over the last 2-3 years is catching the ball. Are any of these guys, Spiro, similar? I know you said Armstead can can bruise a little bit.
Yeah, so Armstead's more of a bruiser. I don't think he's not much going to give you much in the passing game. But Clement could catch the ball. He, like you saw in the Super Bowl, he had over 100 yards receiving, so that wasn't by mistake. He could catch the ball. He's really good. And you know, the kid they drafted at Arizona, he's got some
Wow.
ability to catch the ball too. So
And he'll run you over too.
yeah, he's got straight line speed, man. Like he sees a hole. He's got good vision. I'd like them to stash him, and you know, maybe he makes it. Maybe he sneaks on because of his special teams abilities, which Judge drafted him for.
Good call, special teams.
Yeah.
Yeah, Craig,
but
I think you're
it's
gonna
fun.
like. I think you're gonna like Brightwell actually once he gets some snaps because he seems to like contact, and that's what you
Okay.
want to see from like a rookie. And he'll put his head down and try to run through you if he has to.
Well,
He's a late bloomer too.
If you look
Good
back
call.
at like you know, successful years, right? I mean, you know, like Tiki wasn't afraid of contact, right?
Hmm.
And then you get like, you know, you get Derek Ward and Bradshaw and Jacobs, and you know, like I'm always listen, and I love Barkley. I'm pretty sure any real Giants fan loves Barkley. Whether they wanted him at 2 or not is irrelevant to me.
Yeah.
Like Barkley is a freak of nature. He's super exciting to watch. You know what I mean? Because he's a second away from a home run at any time. My I don't want to call it a complaint, but what I would like to see him add to his game, which definitely isn't going to happen now after a knee injury, is drop a shoulder on a dude. Like sometimes you just need to drop a shoulder on a guy. The only guy through history that could get away with not doing it is Barry Sanders. And you know, if Saquon turns into Barry Sanders, that would be wonderful. But we all know right now he's not. You know, he's not going that route. You know what I mean? Because Sanders was a pretty healthy cat. So Brightwell being a guy that's willing to drop a shoulder on a linebacker or a safety, I would welcome that on the team any day.
Saquon definitely modeled some of his game after Barry Sanders, but Saquon is a guy that can squat like 1,000 pounds. Like he could run you over if he wanted to. He's just not that guy. But
it's here.
Yeah. Another thing, you know, like we were kind of confused to see Gallman let go, but like seeing what Gallman was, he's kind of just a downhill runner. He'll get you those yards, but these guys that they're bringing in are a specific kind of guy. And if they really wanted Gallman, they would have paid him $1 million and kept him. You know, like they clearly wanted a different look.
Right.
They wanted something different in the backfield. So I trust them that they know what they're doing because you can start to see the picture coming in a little clearer now, what they're looking for.
And I think earlier, I don't know if we were live or not, but you mentioned there were 8 running backs on the roster, Jeff.
There's 8 right now, including Eli Penny, but yeah.
Okay, well, great segue. I know it's not in the old show notes, but they brought that
other dude.
Yeah, the D3 kid in. He's a Bergen County guy.
Platzgummer?
I'm sorry.
Do you want me to read you the names on the roster?
Yeah.
There, you got Sandro Platzgummer. That's his actual name.
Love that name.
Taquan
that's the European guy.
Yeah, last year.
Brightwell, Booker, Barkley, Armstead. We talked about the rest.
He's a fullback.
Which one?
This guy that he's talking
The guy
about.
that I'm referring to. He's a Bergen County, New Jersey guy. He played I think linebacker and like fullback.
Gillespie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so they've Eli Penny.
Oh yeah.
As a running back.
So I think there's a move there by bringing which is okay. I think Jeff, you started the show off with the best line, and I'm right with you in that line. I don't believe in coincidences. I just don't. Think about this, Fresh. Think about this, Fresh. I've got a fullback. He plays, I don't know, 8 snaps a game. Seems like a model citizen and a good guy, but I pay him $1 million or roughly, right? Then I go out and I sign a guy who played in D3. There must be 1,000 fullbacks between D2 and D1 somewhere. They bring this kid in.
They liked him, I
wasn't
guess,
a
right?
fullback. He was like a D end or a linebacker, if I'm not mistaken.
Know somebody.
Yeah. So what does that? But what does that tell you? Like, to me, it says Penny's gone. They're gonna save the money and let the kid block.
We'll see. We'll see, man. I
think
don't
it's
think
like a competition thing.
Yeah, best man wins.
But
Um,
but you can get a fullback competition anywhere. Why would you pick a kid from a D3 school who's not
special
a fullback?
teams. Apparently,
There's
honestly,
probably
I
something that
think
he
special
brings to the
teams,
table that they like.
the special teams. I'm pretty sure, like I remember him somebody saying that he's another special teams ace, man. And Judge, he loves his
That's
he loves
that's
his
the
special teams.
that's the
Like,
answer
You
to a
know what,
lot of our
though?
questions.
he's 250, 60
But
pounds. How can he be a
it makes
special
sense
teams
though.
ace?
These guys are
Run
they're
down the field,
fringe
killing
roster.
people.
Think about it. These guys are fringe. They're fringe roster guys. They're not starters. They're backups or third stringers. And like special teams, think about how we've had a couple of years where it was pretty bad, right? And it was just like brutal to watch. Look at the Dolphins last year. They had no quarterback, but because of a good defense and special teams, they won 10 games or whatever it was. Like you could win games or give yourself a significant advantage. So I mean, I know we keep saying it, but like who cares? They're backups and third stringers, and if they provide some competition and get some snaps, then awesome. Otherwise, Judge, he looks at things a little bit differently.
Yeah,
See, the thing is, special teams coordinators, Harbaugh and Judge, there hasn't been a ton that have been hired as head coaches, and I think you might see more of that. They just view things a little bit differently. They have a little bit of a different lens, and it's like a nice, refreshing perspective than like an offensive guy or a defensive guy.
Totally
Agreed.
agree.
Yeah.
It's a
And
nice
I-
perspective because they don't have to worry about calling the plays for one side or the other either. They're coaching the whole team. They're seeing the whole game. So definitely a different lens. Good point.
And I think what the conversation that wraps around the special teams coach that becomes a head coach is at one point in time he's coached every player on the roster
sure.
because they come in
Bingo.
and every single player, even the stars, come in and play special teams to some degree, whether they're kick return, punt return. They've all been part of special teams except for, I mean, even your quarterbacks, even they hold for the quarterbacks are holders, right?
Right.
I know it's traditional.
Qualities of
It's tradition now to make the punter the holder,
Yeah.
but the quarterback's the backup holder, right? So
there are tons of transferable qualities and skills from a special teams coach that you wouldn't think of that as a head coach you need. What do I mean by that? As a special teams coach, you have to create buy-in. You have to go to the third string receiver that doesn't give a shit about special teams and say, hey man, you'd be a good gunner. You would really impress the coaches. This could increase your snaps and help you and maybe increase your value in free agency. You have to create buy-in as a special teams coach for guys that really don't probably care that much. You have to know every single talent and skill set and athleticism of every position group. You get to interact with every single different group and every single different coach. And you're like an internal salesman in that aspect. And then also you have a unique perspective of putting different, like all these different pieces together, right? So like as a head coach, and it's kind of chaotic in special teams. Guys get injured, guys go down, again in the game. As a head coach, there are so many stories you hear about guys that were offensive and defensive coordinators that were great that became head coach. And they're like, dude, I had no idea I had to deal with this. Like I was getting calls like babysitting one day, like things that I never thought I'd have to deal with are put on your desk, and it's chaotic when you're first in that job. So I think that being a special teams coach, there's a lot of qualities that prepare you for the job more so than people would think.
ladies and gentlemen, that was Mikey Fresh.
That was so
he
well
had
thought
to get
out.
that off his
so
chest. Yeah, he had
articulate.
that.
He just dropped like 19 millennial buzzwords all
Facts.
in one statement. He's just increased his brand by like 200%.
So
I've been
truly
saying-
impressive.
I've been sitting on that one for a while.
Clearly been cooking that one for a while.
I
But
dig
speaking
it.
of special teams, I remember when Brandon Jacobs joined us, and Tiki was still the guy the first year or two that Brandon Jacobs was here, but I first noticed him on special teams. This guy ran
Beast.
like a freaking truck down the road, and just his energy, the way if he made a tackle or a play, the way he was jumping up, running to the side, and I'm like, who is this guy? Like I had to look up, like, what position is he and why isn't he on the field more? Like that's how you can, especially a special teams coach, that's how you can earn your stripes and get a chance on the field and make a difference.
Let's
yeah.
not forget, like my all-time favorite special teamer of all time turns out to be a long-standing New York Giant hero, which is Chase Blackburn. I
Oh,
mean,
Chase.
like that dude
Yes.
stepped on the field. He's like, "What do you want me to do? I'll hit anybody you want." If he's
Love that
moving,
kind of guy.
I'll hit it. I'll tackle it. And you're talking about a guy who worked his way on the field as an inside linebacker, an outside linebacker. I mean, how many big plays did that cat make? I mean, that's a guy. And by the way, I've been trying to get him to come on the podcast now, which is really super interesting. If you follow, well, you three guys, we're always talking back and forth. We know when we interviewed Dominic Hickson, they went to high school together. So I've been pinging Chase going, let's talk Ohio football. Let's talk Ohio football. And he likes it. He likes it and retweets it, but I can't get him to commit.
Can't
We'll get
close
him.
the deal.
We'll get him one of these days.
Yeah.
We'll
So-
wear him down.
He's coming.
I'm trying to get.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tweet at him right now.
I'm trying to get Dominic Hickson to help me out a bit.
He picked off the pass in the Super Bowl right in front of Gronk, right?
Huge.
And wasn't he like
Yes.
substitute
Like 40
team
yards down
captain,
the field?
a couple weeks
Yeah.
before? Wasn't he scooped up? Like,
Yeah. So after that first round
Yeah.
that he played with the
He was like a
Giants,
math teacher.
yeah.
Yeah. So I think he had gotten cut like in the final cuts or something like that. And he was like, I think I'm done. And he went back home and he was teaching school and they called him and were like, yo, man, come on back. And that's when he changed his number from like 57 to like 97, I think it was, or 93, something crazy. And
It
then
definitely was 57, yeah.
yeah, and then he played like two more years with the Giants and got a Super Bowl ring. So
love it.
I just can't. You never know, like how your life could turn around. Like,
Right.
imagine just being a teacher, making 40 grand a year, to all of a sudden right back to an NFL team making that play in the Super Bowl.
Wild,
Yeah.
wild, man.
Awesome. All right, let's do the old segue.
I'm inviting
Yes.
him on, and I'm saying, how many times do you think about the Super Bowl interception of Tom Brady? Come join the Giants Guys podcast sometime. It'll be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fresh,
All right.
get some.
And then I'll jump in too. Go ahead. Send it. We'll do it live.
So
Send it.
I know you guys well. You're tuned into what's going on with the Giants. Like every piece of media that's out there, you guys are like, bang, did you hear this? You know this? The Giants do a really nice job. They probably pay some photographers $1 billion to do it, or maybe it's the press, but they bang off like 100 photos every day of what happened that day. And then they post them on Giants.com. And I always get the alert like, look what happened at camp today. Here's Tony doing drills with no shoes on. And here's, and all sorts of stuff. Question is, have you guys got a chance to look through the slideshow? Again, I know there's stills, they're not video. There is some tiny piece of video floating around there you can see. But just in general, gentlemen, a picture's worth 1,000 words. One, Tony with no shoes on, one shoe on, one shoe off. Very strange. Spiro, what did you get out of the rookie minicamp?
Well, for the Tony thing, I get that he said he's going to do whatever it takes to get on the field and get the job done. Shoes, no shoes, he was getting the job done. I love it. But that's all I need to say about that. What I like to see, really, from the photos, I saw that, man, Azeez Ojulari and Ellerson Smith, they look the part, man. They are big, muscular, freaking dude. Ellerson Smith, he looks like a freaking he was a basketball player, and he looks it, man. He is huge. You could tell he could
Jason
pack
Taylor
on
a little bit. That
yeah,
build, right?
He's not even packing on the weight yet. Like he hasn't packed on muscle, and he still already looks the part. I was like, oh damn. I was like, whoo, like it's getting hot in here. No. I'm telling you, both those guys, man, they look the part, and they're gonna be some mean defensive, edges, whatever, outside linebackers, and I love to see it, man. I was pumped up about it.
Jeff, does it bother you? I'm going to kind of run with Spiro's notion on that they look the part. What also grabs my attention when they, quote unquote, look the part is Smith's wearing a very interesting number. And Carl came out and said, hey, he was like,
I hit Carl up on that.
Yeah, I saw it. And listen, and Carl's always cool. And he's just like, hey, man, my name's on the stadium wall. You know what I mean? In the ring of honor, I'm cool with it. Does that stuff bother you, Jeff? Because I always have a problem with anybody wearing 58 or 53. I don't think it should be done.
Well, as soon as they come out and say they're wearing 58, that's your first thought, right? Is like that's a legendary Giants number without being retired.
Well,
that's a very important Giants number.
Only because, and the only reason why it gets a pass, I think, is because Antonio Pierce wore it.
That's where I was going.
Oh, go ahead, Ron.
I was just gonna say Antonio Pierce did it damn good justice, man. Talk
Oh,
about
yeah.
one of the best free agent signings ever. Taking that guy, he was such an important part of that defense. And like Carl Banks had the best
Huge.
outlook on it. I can't
Huge.
control if they retire the number or not. I'm in the ring of honor. So
Oh, yeah.
let these guys wear it, make them, make me proud, whatever, like do
Right.
your best out there. But I mean, I think that's I will say one thing I'd like from camp while we're talking about Ellerson is I guess Lorenzo Carter was in the building or something. There was a video floating around of him just videoing Ellerson Smith and like just breaking his balls as he's walking by, like, take the walk, rookie. Like they're already like getting together, forming the brotherhood. They're bonding. They're doing the thing. Like it was just good to see. And Lorenzo Carter seemed to be in like great spirits, like ready to rock. And
I hope so, or he's going to lose the job.
but Spiro is right. I'm actually didn't get a chance to look through these pictures until right now. Aziz,
He's stocky, dude.
good lord, like he's
Yeah.
a grown man. He's ready to rock.
He's ripped, man.
There's
Tony-
some video, Jeff. If you jump on Aziz social media, I don't remember if it was Instagram or if it was Twitter. It's him and Crowder in the tub, right? And and I guess they're icing down, and it's like Crowder's like got it videoed on him, and he like turns the camera a little bit, and there's like Aziz,
Georgia boys.
he's a big dude, right? But he's got this like $1 million smile, you know what I mean? And he looks over, and you can just see him go like this. I made it to the big time, baby.
Yeah, it's beautiful, beautiful thing.
They're living the life.
How about you, Fresh? Anything that jumps out at you? Like that you're seeing out there, Fresh. That's like maybe media driven. Like there's a ton of giant photos out there you can take a look at. But anything grab your attention? Like this guy's, there's a lot of fresh faces.
Yeah,
No
you guys.
pun intended.
I know. A lot of fresh faces out there. A lot of fresh faces. I think you guys hit on head. I'm not big on that stuff. I just feel like I've seen a lot of times in the off season before. You see guys get in great shape and then they just come out and have like bad seasons or whatever. I remember the one off season, like Eli had his like gut on the beach in Cancun, and everyone's like, "How is that a pro athlete?" And then he came
That
out.
bad.
I think that was like before like 2011, where he threw for 4,900 yards and like willed a team to 9 wins. Had no business getting there because they had a shitty running game and a shitty defense. Doesn't get credit for that. But I always got to throw Eli some love, right?
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, I was like,
love it.
you were like, oh.
That Super Bowl was on 2007 one was on last night on NFL
Yes, it
Network,
was.
man.
Yes, it
Big
was.
deal.
I
That
stayed up to
there's just
watch the
something-
end.
there's just something about it, like you get nervous watching, even though you know it's going to happen.
That's so funny.
Like it was a
That's
7-3
so funny.
game, like late in that game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
So that nothing that caught my eye.
I were,
That works.
our first round pick is a star.
Oh, I love
Darius
Tony.
Tar- He's a star. He's already a star. Like he's going to be an absolute
Joker?
stud playmaker. Yes, he's a star.
With one shoe.
It's just
I-
funny. I mean, watching his demeanor versus Devontae Smith, and I know that means nothing right now, but everything you see about Devontae Smith, he's like, like he just
Terrible body
like,
language.
no smiles, no. Yeah, he was like slumping
Because
into Eagles camp.
he's playing for the Eagles, and there's no quarterback to throw him the ball.
You got Tony out there just playing without shoes, smiling all the time. I haven't seen this guy without a smile yet. Like
Yep.
he is so jacked up. Like
Loving
you know,
life.
yeah. I just love it, man. I mean, I know
I
it
mean, if you
might mean
think-
nothing, but
No, it's definitely something, because you know why? And again, like I haven't really been into Florida receiver since Ike Hilliard, but
love
like
Ike.
he everybody loves Ike. He's bringing like this really cool vibe where it's like, hey, I want to be part of this. How do I get in? What do I got to do? Like
he's gonna be a spark plug, man. He's a
Yeah,
spark
'cause-
plug to that offense.
like, I mean, a guy who's got he's got a up and coming rap career. You know, he's
Let's show that.
Well, I'm just saying that he's got other things going on,
For sure.
right? And he just seems like a pretty good cat that everyone's gonna like. I think definitely he blends right in with the crew. I mean, geez, what team in the NFL's got more dreadlocks than our guys? I mean, like we've got an
Yeah,
that's
entire
swag,
team.
dude.
Yeah, we got
That's
an
swag.
entire team of dreadlocks. I mean, it's crazy. And again, I'm saying it because it's fun. Yeah, 100%. The kid's going to be a star. And even put it this way, guys like Reggie Bush or even David Wilson before he got hurt, like they were not like everyday guys, but they turned in like they could have. David Wilson got cut a little early, but we saw it was there.
Yep.
Reggie Bush started off and they were like, guys, a third down back or a scat back, and he developed into an everyday back. So Tony's going to grow. He makes literally play nothing but special teams and then packages his first year, right? Like, but by his third year, like he's going to have an opportunity to be like, like a 1,200-yard receiver. You know what I mean? Like it's just,
Boom.
you know what I'm saying? So
Okay.
I'm with you. He seems like any guy that's going to do drills with one shoe on, he's got to have a good sense of humor.
He didn't want to
Right.
miss any. He didn't want to miss a single drill. I actually think he
Respect
gets
that.
more looks this year than you think. Like they're not going to roll him out there every snap, but I think they're going to use him because other teams are like, well, who do the Giants have? Well,
Right.
he's going to be one of the first names they talk about on offense. Like I hope they put him in motion all over the place.
Oh yeah.
I hope the defense is always having their eye on him, whether he's a distraction or not, like a decoy out there, but he's going to get his looks. I think the screen game is going to be nice for him and they're going to get him going.
I think he's going to have I agree. I think 700 yards. I would put it there probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
Sounds about right.
purpose or receiving?
I think receiving 700 yards receiving,
Wow.
maybe like, I don't know.
Get the
Write it down.
book out.
Write it down.
That's not that bold.
All right, so
though,
for
is it?
anybody
Is that
that's
crazy?
anybody
I mean,
that's and for anybody that's new to the Giants,
see.
guys, we have this little friendly I wouldn't call it a debate, but we have these friendly hot takes that happen during the course of a show, and the mechanic
10
over there
wins the
writes them
floor.
down in the book, and then we revisit them. For instance, Lorenzo Carter, Mikey Fresh, who just disappeared from the room,
Gone.
said, hey, Lorenzo Carter's going to have 11 and a half sacks. And then we revisit it when he's on the cart being wheeled off with an Achilles. So we write him down. Jeff writes him down there in the book. We revisit like them. So if you're new to the Giants, guys, and you want to know what's in the book, just
There's a lot in that book.
yeah, get tweet out to Mr. Pilgrim and he can read off a laundry list of hot takes that are in that book that, actually, I think you would say we're keeping receipts.
Exactly. It's good to keep receipts, whether you're
Mhm.
way off or whether you're spot on. Either way, it's good entertainment.
Have takes. You gotta
But
have
you
takes.
just have a take. That's
Yeah.
all we ask.
Right.
So for any
I
reason you
don't,
guys
that's more
want
of a prediction. I'm not like super.
No, but
I
I
know.
only it's not an absurd. It's not like you said 1,400 yards. It's just
No, 700
if
is
he
a nice
winds
little
up getting
number.
700 yards, we'll be like Fresh said. Preseason.
That's a pretty big season for a rookie, man.
Yeah,
I
was-
like it.
hey, Fresh, here's the thing. One, own the take. And two, if he has 750 yards receiving, he's got a chance for winning offensive rookie of the year. I
Well,
mean, like,
He's gonna
you know-
add like 200 to 300 yards rushing too, which is
that's what I'm saying.
that
like,
is what it's gonna add to.
I mean, if he's got 1,000 yards, 1,000 all-purpose yards,
He's
you know,
55
and
touchdowns.
Waddle and Chase have 600 yards receiving. I mean, like he could win offensive rookie of the year with a year like that. Fresh. I
That's a
don't
hot
think
take.
you're off base. All right, let's keep moving. Let's keep moving. Unless
Roll.
anybody has anything to say,
No,
I really want to
roll,
dig
roll.
into this one because, like, that's what it felt like. Anybody ever smack you like that? It has happened to me numerous occasions, but I didn't expect it to happen. I didn't expect it to happen yesterday morning. All right. Pop on Twitter. I'm doing this. I'm casually looking. And then you go, whoop, whoop, whoop. Kerrigan, who I'm a big fan of. I'm sure a lot of guys are a fan of because he's a good cat. But Kerrigan from the Washington football team, he's been basically their staple at defensive end for
8 or 9
Yep.
years, something like that.
is it 8 years
It's
already?
been
Okay.
2011, man.
Yeah. So like just good guy, well liked, couple Pro Bowls, stout against the run. I mean, I think the stat was I'll look it up. I think he's got like 36 sacks just against the Eagles and the Giants.
Yeah.
Yeah,
over-
Say,
he cleans
he's got
up
almost
against-
100 sacks total.
yeah. Oh, he's a 100 sack guy?
Oh, well, he's 95 right now, so he's piled them up, man.
He was just
How old
stuck
is
in-
he?
He's
stuck in
32.
Washington.
32.
32.
So he's 32, and I don't know what they're thinking. You know, he's like the Rock. He's the cornerstone of that team to keep everybody in line.
Yeah.
But I know they
It
want
was
to get
time to move
younger,
on.
but still.
Yeah.
But didn't see it coming. Like I said, it was like a double take. He signs with the Eagles. Like, of all the places to go, like, I don't know what's going on. First, you got the Cowboys trading with the Eagles during the draft. Now we've got like one of the better defensive ends, and I know they got Montez Sweat, you know, but still,
Chase
Kerrigan's
Chase
still a baller. And all of a sudden, you're like, damn, wanted the Giants to make that call, man.
That would have been a nice call for the Giants to make.
So go ahead, Jeff. I'll start with you. What do you think about Kerrigan signing and staying in the East? And we still got to face him.
Well, it sucks because, like you said, he's a good dude. He's well liked, well respected. And now I don't want him to have a positive influence on the Eagles locker room and bring his leadership and his production and teach those guys. Like, F that. Get out of the division. You were stuck in Washington. We weren't worried about you because you were in Washington. But now there's a bigger spotlight on you in Philly. I don't know. You don't like to see him stay in the division, but one thing I know about him is he was mic'd up with Evan Ingram one time. This is
He said he was
in
a good blocker.
2019 season, and Ingram stuck him with a block, believe it or not. And Kerrigan was like,
Maybe
"Hey,
he's not too smart.
He was like, "You're getting better at this, man." And Ingram was like, "I'm trying, dude." Like, he stopped in the middle of a game to tell him he's getting better at blocking.
Yeah,
You know, that's the kind of guy he is.
Maybe
He's like,
got a
I still
career-
can't catch, but I'm getting better at blocking.
Well, Battery's got a career in politics. Fresh, what's your thought? I mean, like, you know, you figured, you were going to get one less stud defensive end to play against, and again, the guy raises his game against the Giants every game. What was your thoughts when you saw Kerrigan go to the Eagles?
I mean, I just remembered Eli throwing a pick to him on a screen pass, like in his own end zone.
Great memory.
Like, I'm just like, this guy, he just made a lot of plays against us, man. He's just one of those guys like that is like a thorn in the side. Like, you know who else was like that? Connor Barman, I feel like. This is like
Don't say that.
causing
name.
issues.
But
for
then
us.
he came and played for us and did nothing.
He was washed.
And did nothing. Yeah. Like, that'll happen. Kerrigan will come over in a few years and be like nothing.
I hope he does
A
nothing.
guy we
this year.
struggled with, but our offensive line has struggled with a lot of guys in the last decade. So
Yeah, true that.
Spiro, anything here? I mean, like,
Yeah,
you know.
I mean, listen, I would have rather him not been in division, obviously, but he is turning 33. He's coming off back-to-back 5.5 sack seasons, so he's played a lot in his career, a lot of miles on him, a couple injuries. He's not nothing. But I'm not gonna lose sleep over Kerrigan anymore. I think he's a little bit past his prime. He's not the double-digit sack guy that was killing us all throughout the mid 2000s, 2010s, whatever. I'm getting old as hell.
It's
But no, it's not nothing. But again, I'm not gonna lose sleep over it. To be honest with you, I think that pass rush is old, man. They got Brendan Graham. They got Kerrigan. In 2010, that would have been a ferocious front four.
Yeah.
Now,
that's the thing. It's a 1-year deal because they want his presence. I think.
Yeah.
He's gonna get 4 or 5 sacks for him and probably get dinged up. He's old.
Right.
The interesting thing is, I was kind of chalking it up to the fact that he's only got to drive 2.5 hours up 95. I'm like wondering if
Keep the
maybe
family where they are.
Yeah, and if you think about it, like, again, back to what Jeff started the show with, I don't believe in coincidences. The guy's got a family here. Maybe he's grooved into that, that Baltimore / DC, Maryland, early Virginia type of area. Maybe he didn't want to go anywhere. He figures, you know what? I can just go grab an apartment and just cruise up there for practice. So it could have been a little bit of that,
Yeah,
True.
definitely.
It was convenient for him. I get it.
Yeah, because I don't know. I not many guys trade within a division. Not many guys. I mean, there are guys. I mean, we've had it happen with us. We've had Everson Walls, who went from Dallas to the Giants. We've had Johnny Damon go from the Red Sox to the Yankees. I mean, it happens every day.
We took Canty from Dallas.
Chris Canty, yeah.
Antonio Pierce from Washington.
True.
Yeah,
Those were
Uh,
free
Mar-
agents, not
Was it
trades.
Martellus
Oh,
Bennett,
you're
Well, this
the
is a-
Cowboy? Right?
He wasn't I mean, whatchamacallit?
Kerrigan's
Kerrigan was
a
a
free agent
free
too.
agent signing too, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
wasn't a trade. But
Kerrigan?
still,
semantics.
Free agent.
yeah. But anyway, listen, if he's their best pass rusher, I'm not gonna worry too much, you know. I Kerrigan of 5 years ago, I'd be worried, but
I think
there's a
we're gonna-
reason why they let him go.
I think we're gonna
Redskins.
whoop up on the Eagles twice. this
Eagles are in for some hurting this year.
Yeah,
man.
and you know,
They could have Lawrence Taylor right now. I'm not scared of them.
let's not. Nah,
Lawrence Taylor
yeah,
at
yeah.
like
Yo,
age 56.
yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, if he's playing now, maybe. But let me
Yeah.
tell you,
I still would
Giants-
worry about
They
it.
do own us though.
Giants were terrible for like the first 5 years that he played, and everybody was still scared of the dude.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Let's have some fun. Bonus round. Ba-now, ba-now.
I
Bonus round.
like that.
Yeah.
Bringing it.
Bonus.
Bonus round. And the reason why I'm doing a bonus round is because, like, I just want to have some fun with some
some fun,
of this,
boys.
right? Yeah, right. I need the
And
sound
girls.
effects though. I'm
Girls,
sure
okay.
I can find one on my phone for the sound
Oh,
effects.
don't get me started.
Uh-oh.
Well, listen, we had a blast
Fine.
during the draft. Every time you played that music, we were cracking up. All right. So before we go to bonus round, you're listening to another episode of the Giants Guys. Thanks for tuning in. Listen, thank you for all the support you guys have been giving us, rocking with us on Twitter and the live stream when we're there. We've grown with you guys, and we're really super appreciative of the relationships that we have. I mean, it can only get better. We're going to try to broadcast from the stadium. I'm already kind of trying to find out what these guys' schedules like so I can get them out to a tailgate of mine.
Can't
and so
wait.
forth. But I do need a
Oh,
favor, and I
yeah.
do need you to go to the YouTube channel. Go there. It's called the Giants Guys, and subscribe and like it.
Vibe.
I mean, I know you hear that all the time, but it means a lot for us to be able to keep spreading what we do. And I know it's a slow burn for us, okay? Because we're not dropping tons of stats on you. We're just here to entertain you, have some fun, maybe bring you some like this. Why do we do this? Because it's like 4 guys sitting at the corner bar. That's what we do. All right. So thanks
Right.
for this. Thanks for the support. Go to the YouTube channel. Check out nygiantsrush.com. There will be a new website. I had a little hiccup the last couple of days, but the new website is coming. And when you get it, you're going to be like, dude, this is badass. So thanks for the support. And follow these guys. Make sure you're following
Appreciate
them
you.
on Twitter and engage with them. They always have good things to say. Bonus round. Love this. Thought of this. I was thinking of this today about the Giants are pretty crafty. Jeff, would you not think that the Giants are pretty crafty with their rosters?
I mean, yes. Do you want me to
Yeah.
elaborate, or is this just the first stop?
Not yet, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just that's me just
Teasing
throwing
it,
the line in
teasing
the
it.
water to see if
Carry
like,
on.
Like technically, watch. See, because I'm not sure if Fresh is looking because we're on camera and I can only see like the top of his brim of his hat.
Hey, Fresh.
You know what, Fresh? It's like this when you're in class. We don't know if you're sleeping or not because you're like this.
I've been in that move. I've done that move plenty of
Yeah.
time.
So here's the
Yep.
bonus round. The Giants
I
are
don't
crafty with
sleep.
their roster. Not many guys, not many players have either been cut, traded, or walked on a contract year and went on to another team and had great success. There are a handful of them that have. So the bonus round is when I definitely need the sound effect for that. The bonus
Bonus.
round is, gentlemen, is name me one player that has left the Giants after being cut. Oh, there, like it. Cut, traded, or walked. I'm going to start with you, Fresh. Give me who you got. A player that's been cut, somebody who walked or was traded that went on and have a good career.
Yeah. Linval.
Well, I'm out.
That's
That
the
was-
go-to.
That was. It's funny. It's funny that you started with me because that was the one that came to my mind when I
Yep.
initially heard the question, and I was really struggling for others. So, all right, on to you, Jeff and
Oh,
Spiro.
really?
I
Because
got
I've got 2.
a nice one.
I've got.
Okay.
All right. So you're going with Linval because he really had a real nice run with Minnesota, right?
He did.
Yeah, absolutely. You could argue he was better with them than he was with us.
He blossomed.
Developed more.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And he got,
He
and he got paid.
I hope the same thing doesn't happen with Tomlinson and he just explodes for. Well, you know, good. I don't really care if he does, but
As
it would
long
be
as
not-
as long
it'd
as
be-
Williams continues balling
right.
out.
And Dex, big Dexy,
Spiro.
Dexy. Yeah, I got a throwback
All right,
name for
Spiro.
everybody.
What do you got for me?
So, Mr. McCaffrey, the older Mr. McCaffrey, Ed McCaffrey, was drafted by the Giants and played for the Giants for 3 years. But then he went on to Denver and had a
Won a Super
freaking
Bowl.
awesome career. Awesome career, man. Like, yeah,
Ah,
he was hung around the Giants. He only had about 70 catches for the
work.
first 3 years, and then, dude, he went to Denver. He had 3 1,000-yard seasons. Had I think like close to 25, 30 touchdowns, and he had himself
that's where he made
a
his
great
hay.
career in Denver. And I always remember, I'm like, man, I remember watching that guy not getting any kind of PT for the Giants. And then he goes to, I mean, obviously it must be nice to play with Elway, but
helps.
that always stuck in my craw, man.
I don't know. Danny Cannell and Kent Graham.
And the Phil Sims career, Danny Cannell, Dave Brown, just not great, not great.
Well, Sims was a all pro. I mean, it was
Yeah,
after
but
Sims,
towards
it
the end of
went
the
downhill
career,
because-
he was washed up a little bit.
Well, if you really get technical about it, he had one of his best years as a pro, and they cut him the next year.
Well, yeah, yeah. 15
That
touchdowns and 9
last year
picks.
he had was that last year was fantastic. They
Yeah,
were like,
he was
they
banged
were
up.
they
He
were
was
a
banged
playoff
up
team.
at the end of his career. But anyways, I don't know. Ed
But
McCaffrey had a good
like
son.
playing with Dave Brown.
Oh yeah, Dave Brown.
I like McCaffrey.
Gross.
Dave Brown.
17.
Gross.
Duty.
Duty.
So, Jeff,
I came up
I know
with
you wanted to go Linval, and you stole your
What's your
thunder.
backup
You got
plan?
a backup plan here?
no, I came
I
up
had no
bro.
backup,
It,
so
it
I
took
feel
me
your pain.
it took me a minute or two to think of Joseph. And then I'm like, I'm thinking of giant studs that I know either walked or just signed elsewhere. I'm like, I know OC
got
went to the
two.
Falcons, did nothing. Tuck went to the Raiders, did nothing. Steve Smith to the Eagles, did nothing. Roll. These guys just disappeared when they left the Giants. I'm like, who went on to actually have their best years?
want me to
when
throw
the
you a
Giants
bone?
let them go. Go ahead.
You were in trouble if the Giants didn't hang on to you. Your career was in trouble.
All right, I'm gonna throw you a bone here. One, I mentioned him earlier in the show. Two, he played college in a state where we just drafted another player from. I mentioned him by name 15 minutes ago. Was a wide receiver.
I must have zoned out at that point.
We just drafted a wide receiver from the same school.
Ike.
Oh,
Hill.
Ike. Where'd he go?
Where
Tampa
did he-
Bay,
afterwards?
dude.
Yeah, but I don't know if he
I'm checking stats. What did he do when he left the
may have
Giants?
had.
Honestly,
He may have had a couple good years actually there. I think he did. I think he had a couple good years there.
well, we will
All right,
see.
Craig.
I have even
Greg even
I have an
dropped
even
a
better
hint.
one, by the way. That one wasn't my pick. I was throwing that one as a backup for Jeff. I have my pick. That's
He was
solid. I'm
okay.
What you got? Craig, give us your pick.
hands down, dude. Hands down, Kerry Collins. Hands down. Right?
Where'd Kerry go? He went to Oakland?
So
He had
Kerry Collins goes to
good with
Oakland for
Tennessee.
2 years, right? Back-to-back years, he throws for 20-plus touchdowns and 3,600 yards. Then he goes to Tennessee. He sits the bench for 2 years. Then he goes and throws for another 2,700 yards in Tennessee. And then plays another 2 years and winded up with the Colts. I mean, the guy literally started for 2 other teams after leaving the Giants.
You could still argue his best years were in New York. He
With the
led Giants to the
No.
Super Bowl.
Agreed.
Best years were with the Panthers.
Well,
no.
Did he
Or-
ever get
doing
back to
nah.
here's the thing. Kerry Collins never I loved him because he was a Giant, but we didn't draft him, so I almost put him in a he made a stop through the Giants and
Like
So
Right.
Spiro, he was there from 99 to 2004. You ready for this? He threw for 2,300 yards, 3,600, 3,700, 4,000, 3,100, 3,500, 3,800. He balled with the Giants. Touchdowns, 8, 22, 19, 19, 13, 21, 20. He balled with the Giants. I mean, and that's in an era where they didn't throw that like it's
Right.
still.
I love Kerry.
You're talking about that. Yeah, I mean,
I had to lay off the
from a
booze a little bit,
statistical
but
standpoint, he's the third best statistical quarterback in history for the Giants.
he did have a freaking cannon, dude. I love that arm.
Big arm.
He
Big arm.
used to just
Cannon.
chuck that ball.
Big time.
All right, ready, Spiro. He went as a part-time starter when he got there, 2-5, 12-4, 7-9, 10-6, 4-9, 3-10, 4-11. He was on
Talking
terrible teams.
Where? Which after the Giants?
For the Giants. Yeah, for the Giants.
Who? Kerry
were-
Collins?
In
I think-
99, 2-5, because he only started half the year.
Yeah. Well, he led them to the Super Bowl.
Then 12-4 went to the Super Bowl. Next year, in 2001, they went 7-9. Then they had a huge rebound year and went 10-6.
Mhm.
Then
They
they
had some good-
dived and went 4
Good teams, man.
4-9.
Really good teams over there. Yeah.
Yep. But then here's the
They-
thing.
so
he,
here's-
he in 2008 he was 12-3 with Tennessee.
Yeah.
Here's my conclusion
The-
though. Aside from McCaffrey, who I don't know that much about, Joseph sounds like the only guy whose
Yeah,
best
there's
years
really
were
not much.
actually were actually outside of New York.
We're scraping here. Like,
I'll give you one.
Go.
Sean Payton, coach.
Oh, well, the Giants lost out on a bunch of coaches, man. That's
Yeah,
one
but you could say that for any coaching tree. Andy Reid's coaching
Yeah.
tree, Holmgren's coaching tree, Belichick.
we lost Landry.
Yep.
We lost we
How
lost
about this? How about this? The question that I don't know the answer to, why did Jim Fossil never get another job?
great question. Don't know.
Because he went all
Like, is
in.
there something like-
blackballed.
Yeah,
I-
like did something happen or like
I don't. Maybe he didn't want to coach anymore. Maybe he's just he was done. You know, I don't know. I always wondered
no,
that
he was like the
myself, man.
special teams coordinator for a few years or something for Baltimore.
Yeah.
He
I don't
rocked
know.
in college though. He went back to college and did well.
Yeah.
Ahmad
I'm just a
Bradshaw
little
and
surprised.
Colts did nothing.
No, dude, all the names we listed, other than basically Joseph, you know, maybe my man McCaffrey, but like nobody had like Pro Bowl years after they left the Giants. So
Jim Fossil is 71 now.
yeah, man, no joke.
So Linval Joseph.
All right, I got one here, Spiro. Ready?
Yeah,
Martellus Bennett leaves
He was a
leaves the
rental.
Giants.
yeah.
Leaves the Giants and goes to
Don't count.
Chicago. 800 yards, 5 touchdowns. 900 yards and 6 touchdowns. 400 yards and 3 touchdowns. He had 3 nice years with the Bears.
He was a
I barely
travel-
consider
he was
him a
journeyman.
giant.
Me either.
Yeah.
I feel like it's got to be a real giant, either drafted.
Oh,
or
you mean
spent a
yeah,
ton
but
of
is it
years
the
here.
moniker once a giant, always a giant?
Martellus
some.
Bennett is not always a giant.
Yeah. Oh man. Well, that was
Well,
fun.
that was fun.
good
That
stuff.
was
Yeah.
good. Linval Joseph is the answer.
But that's it. That's
No,
it.
I think Spiro pulled a real good one. McCaffrey, though, that's a real good one.
That was
It's
a deep
it
pull.
might be a little too older for the older crowd over there, but
The younger crowd.
yeah. No.
I'm gonna have to think of some more now. It's got me churning.
There's not much,
I'm
man. You're gonna have
thinking
to
of
dig.
offensive linemen. Any offensive linemen?
Nope.
Not really, man. Yeah,
No.
like the Giants are always good at moving on. You know, sometimes they obviously when they won the Super Bowl with a couple of guys, they held on a little too long. But generally speaking, they made good decisions when it came to the end of guys' careers and not signing them to another contract.
Yeah,
So,
like Blackburn didn't have a great year when he went to when he left, or Tuck, like Jeff said, Tuck. These guys, yeah, they're very good at
They
at
were
that
toast when they
evaluation
left. When they
process.
left, they just flat out couldn't play.
Exactly
Yeah.
right. I think they're like, you know what? I have a year or two left. Let me cash in and call it a career. And I feel like that's what OC and Tuck both did. It didn't make sense for the Giants to pay him big money. Tuck went to the Raiders, and they were terrible teams that he
Yeah.
went to. And
I mean, I guess you can make a case for Beckham, maybe.
not yet.
not yet.
I mean,
You know?
yet to be determined. I mean,
Yeah.
put it this way. He's
Still
disappeared the last few years, but would it surprise us if he just lit it up at some point?
No,
Yes,
definitely
yes,
not.
because
Yeah.
they run the ball. 40
No,
times.
yeah, I'd be
Sure.
surprised. His window's getting smaller to light it up, man.
He's not getting any
How?
younger.
He's going to fit the mold of his best years were in New York. I guarantee it. There's no way he's going to
Well,
hit.
it's very
he-
likely, but
Two,
you're telling me he gets traded next year and goes somewhere and lights it up. You'd be shocked?
I
I'd be
don't.
shocked.
He would have to go to the perfect situation and stay healthy the whole time
Yeah.
because he was getting 90.
That's the
I
point.
hear you.
He's already got. We're already worried about Barkley
I
with
hear
one
you.
knee injury. He's had multi injuries,
29 years
multi
old.
different body parts.
About to turn 20.
Yeah. And he's not young anymore. What's he now in? 6 years, 7 years?
He's
28.
He's 28, turned 29 this season, but he better start turning on this year, man. It's running out of time.
He's not going to be the Beckham that he was in New York ever again, especially not in Cleveland, just because they run the ball so much
hope
and
not.
they're good at that. Like
How about
they're the
about
best runner.
Shockey? He won 2 Super Bowl. He won a Super Bowl ring in New Orleans.
He's a bum.
Who did? Who?
Whoa,
Wait,
dude,
I missed
that's
it. What'd you say?
boot. Jeff, I want you to bleep him when you produce this up. Bleep that he ever said that was blasphemy right there.
No,
Yeah,
we love
delete it.
Shockey, but was he on the field for either ring that he has?
Yeah.
Yeah,
no.
he had a decent year in New Orleans, but when he went to the Panthers, he didn't do anything.
But what did
No.
he actually play in the Super Bowl?
Yeah,
Not the Giants Super
He
Bowl.
has a
I know
touchdown.
not the Giants, but
Yeah. I don't remember it
But I remember
making
thinking
much of
that-
an impact. Yeah.
I remember
I
thinking
thought he had a
wow,
touchdown in
Shockey
the
is-
Super Bowl. Well, I
He
could
had
be
2
wrong.
catches and 24 yards in that playoff run total.
Ugh.
Oh no, sorry,
was a-
7
he-
7 and 58. 758.
It was after his rookie season, it just like slowly tapered off. He had a monster rookie year.
Dude, what are you talking about? In 2005, he had 900 yards and 7 touchdowns. Fresh. Use the research. It's in front
Was
of you.
that a-
Come on now.
That is rookie year.
Choose
Was that his
it.
rookie year?
No, his rookie year was 2002 when he made Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Let's
He had a
see.
great career.
2005, he had almost 900 yards and 7 touchdowns. Come on now. Then he backed it up with
Fair.
Craig,
623
Craig,
and 7.
Craig loves some
Craig
Shockey.
or Spiro, I forget who
Well,
said it.
his-
Shockey did catch a touchdown in the Super Bowl.
Ah, there you go.
I'll take the
His
L
His
on
best
that
year
one.
was his best year though was his rookie year. He had 4 or 5 good years, but his best year was his rookie
Dude,
year
he was so fun as a rookie,
Ah,
man.
it
Oh
was-
my
in terms
god.
of catches and yards.
Hey, Fresh.
Crushing people too.
Oh,
2005 is 3 yards difference between his rookie year. Come on, man.
yeah, come on, bro. What
Come
a
on,
drop
bro.
I
off.
mean, like just because you were in diapers when the guy played doesn't mean you got to just,
To be
lay
fair,
it
that was
down.
I
the guy.
wasn't in diapers.
that was
Yeah.
it though. It was really 2005, 2002, and he had good seasons in between. But after 2006, it was pretty downhill after that.
I don't know. I mean, yeah. I guess once he went to New Orleans, they really didn't need him.
Yeah, he was pretty much an afterthought. You never really.
But here's the thing. We have a tight end right
wasn't
now
the
that
same.
doesn't do squat. This guy averages 500 yards and 5 touchdowns every year. Like, isn't that what you're paying him for?
That's all
Well,
you
he was
need.
yeah.
That's all
He
you
was a
need.
first round pick. He was
So
he was paid to do that, and he did it for sure.
yeah, like Ingram was a first round pick, and he can't even sniff these results.
He had a good first season. I
His
know.
numbers-
Let's not talk about Evan Ingram again. Let's not go down that
Yeah,
rabbit hole.
yeah,
All right.
that's fair. That's
Well,
fair.
listen, thanks for tuning in to the Giants, guys. Hope you had some fun with us. We will probably, if I'm not mistaken, next week will probably be a live week, so you can come in and drop some questions on us. But you know what? We need you to subscribe. We need you to like.
Come on,
and we-
people.
Yeah. Like, what's the holdup? I'm handing out stuff, by the way. I just sent cockfighting Rob a magnet today to put on his car. All right?
Nice. Can I get one?
No.
What do I have to do?
Yeah, come on.
By the way, Craig, this whole take a street sign that's a famous Giants player. What do you want? Eli Manning Road? I sent you Taylor Lane.
No, you didn't send it. I didn't get it.
Yes, you responded to the tweet. This was like
No, you said give me a couple minutes. I think there's a Taylor Lane, but you didn't follow up on anything. I never
you
saw it.
responded to it. We'll
right,
take
all
this
right,
off. We'll
I
take this offline.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, you listen to the Giants, guys. Thanks for tuning in.
you guys.
NYGiantsClub.com. And of course, thanks for everything that you do. Peace out.